And another British success story, Everything, Everything. They forged a reputation for singing about everything from the superficiality of Photoshop to terrorism. Our business correspondent, Owen Fairclough, spoke exclusively to the band about the music industry and why it might be having a renaissance moment.
They're one of pop music's anomalies, one of the most innovative and multimedia-savvy bands around, who worry that multimedia overload is killing our attention spans.
You can't get more perfect description of what's happening to our culture than the Vine. You know, 6 seconds. How much can you entertain in 6 seconds? And you know, how much emotion can you get? How much, you know, and then it's gone, 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 gone. And I talk about this in my songs, and my songs themselves sound like that, you know. They sound kind of haphazard, and our artwork is kind of usually destroyed in some way because things are trying to muscle in.
Add in songs about why people fight for Islamic State, environmental disaster and mass murderers, and Britain's Everything Everything are a band with some rather unusual, if not dark, preoccupations.
It's all right to feel like a fat child in a pushchair, old enough to run, old enough to fire a gun.
It's not really intentional. Some bands sing about love and you know, things they like or they dislike, and it just so happens that I dwell on the negatives maybe a bit more than some people. But I also think that there's not really a huge amount of people talking about this stuff, especially not in pop music.
Everything Everything came of age as downloads and streaming all but destroyed the music industry's traditional revenue model. That's left playing live as the only real moneymaker. Everything Everything played 130 shows in 2013, but that kind of touring schedule puts pressure on creating new material.
This is the way that we are actually able to turn a profit, because we don't turn a profit by selling records, because the numbers involved in that side of the industry have shrunk so dramatically in the last, even the last 5 years, certainly in the last 10. You make a good point, because it does hold you back from starting the next cycle in earnest.
Bands have to play gigs. It sounds ridiculous, but there was a long period where bands, particularly established bands, just didn't. They could do 5 gigs a year and live off the old sales, you know.
With 3 critically acclaimed albums, Everything Everything are well established in their native UK. This first full US tour is an attempt to break new ground, as was their first foray into China last year.
They don't have the same music culture at all. They don't have the gig-going culture that we're used to. I don't think they're opposed to it, but it's like the 50s or something, where it's like, this is a gig, everyone, it's okay to clap or whatever.
As for the future, could music's business model be heading back to 15th century Italy?
Something we've always been quite suspicious but also realistic about is doing corporate stuff.
Are you talking about exclusive shows?
Exclusive shows, or a particular project that's sponsored by somebody who may not have the cultural cachet but has the money. And that's quite an old model, you know, from the sort of Medici era of ancient Florence. You know, wealthy patrons would pay artists' wages, essentially. And I think in a weird way, that's sort of going to come back again, or has already come back.
For now, Everything Everything shows remain very much inclusive, and they're playing across Europe this summer. Owen Fairclough, CCTV, Washington.